So imagine trading your bone, cartilage, and just your long-term physical health for a paycheck.
Right, knowing your career is probably going to be totally over by age 35.
Exactly. It's, what I call the extreme gig economy. So today we're doing a deep dive into Mexico's Ley Federal del Trabajo, specifically Title VI, Chapter X.
Yeah, and our mission here is to really see how the law actually adapts to protect the humans behind these brutal sports you love watching.
And we're not just talking about football or baseball here.
No, not at all. The text covers, well, luchadors, jockeys, weightlifters, basically anyone practicing sports as an occupation for profit.
Which makes sense because, an athlete's body is their only real asset. Like, if a rideshare driver's car breaks down, they just buy a new one.
Right, exactly.
But if a luchador shatters their knee on a Tuesday, that's it. Their livelihood is just completely gone.
Which is exactly why standard worker protections just don't cut it. The law has to step in and basically force the employer's hand here.
Okay, so how does it do that?
Well, first off, it mandates absolute registration with IMSS and Infonavit.
Oh, right, the National Social Security and Housing Systems.
Exactly. And it also legally forces clubs to provide access to specialized sports medicine, to prevent and treat those very specific occupational injuries.
That's wild. It's like the law is saying, hey, your office is literally a wrestling ring, so we're forcing your boss to pay for the surgeries you'll inevitably need.
Yeah, pretty much. And it also protects how they get paid.
Wait, really? How so?
Well, think about a jockey or a luchador. They might only compete per event, right? They aren't clocking a standard 40-hour work week.
Oh, right, because they have off seasons.
Exactly. So the law regulates salaries by unit of time, by the season, or even a specific series of matches to stop them from being financially exploited when they aren't actively competing.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
And it's not just their physical bodies being regulated, right? It's their commercial footprint, too.
Yeah, the law views an athlete's image as a legally protected asset.
Right, so they get formal rights over the commercial exploitation of their face and personal brand. But actually, here's where it gets really interesting to me.
Go for it.
The text mentions this, right, to free choice of work. But how does an athlete actually have contractual freedom when sports are so notorious for release clauses?
Oh, right, those massive financial penalties for breaking a contract early.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like they're just locked in.
It's a fair challenge, for sure. But those release clauses just protect the club's financial investment during the active contract period.
So you can't just walk out on day 2.
Right. But the second that specific agreed-upon term ends, the law strictly enforces the athlete's freedom to choose a new employer.
Oh, okay. So they cannot be held hostage indefinitely once the contract expires.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is that because athletes have these massive image rights and such high commercial value tied to a really fleeting physical peak, the whole idea of permanent employment just breaks down.
Right. You can't really give a 22-year-old striker a permanent 30-year contract.
Yeah. Definitely not. Which brings us directly to Article 296.
The one about fixed-term contracts.
Yes. Under this law, it is totally legal for all sports contracts to be fixed term. It's based on what the text calls the biological cycle.
Meaning their prime is super short because of rapid physical degradation. By 35, they physically cannot perform at that elite level.
Exactly, and the team would be completely stuck. Plus, teams need to build specific rosters for specific tournaments. They need strategic planning.
Oh, I see. That gives clubs the flexibility to completely rebuild a roster if a seasonal cup just goes off the rails.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that ties into financial survival too, doesn't it? Since a club's budget relies so heavily on variable sponsorships and TV rights?
Spot on. If we connect this to the bigger picture, fixed-term contracts aren't some penalty against the worker.
They're an operational necessity.
Exactly. It legally balances the athlete's fleeting physical peak with the harsh financial realities of club business models.
So what does this all mean for you as a viewer?
Well, it shows us that true fairness in labor doesn't mean identical treatment across the board.
Right. Sometimes fairness requires legally adapting to the brutal, unique realities of a specific job.
Yeah, it's recognizing that trading your physical prime for public entertainment demands a completely different legal rulebook.
Which leaves me with a thought for you to just, mull over. If an athlete's entire earning potential is compressed into this brutally short biological cycle of rapid physical degradation, shouldn't our standard legal definitions of a fair minimum wage be entirely reimagined?
That is a really fascinating question.
If you are giving up your body in an extreme gig economy, Shouldn't that wage legally have to cover a lifetime of post-career physical wear and tear?